Hi, my name is Lucas. I'm here on my website, and I have a number of free tools, both for small businesses as well as for some personal financial applications that I hope are going to be useful to you. So today I would like to talk about the ROAS Reality Check. The essential concept here is that people have numbers that they're given, but they may not understand why the numbers exist or the different inputs into those numbers. And if you play around with different stuff, you sometimes you could find out that the number that Meta or Google is giving you may not be your real number, and it may not include all the things that go into your particular business or your particular situation. So I tried to make some things that directly address or maybe directly address those types of concerns here. So this is the ROAS Reality Check. Now there's a number of different inputs you can put in, including I have the numbers, for example. Very creative here. And then it puts out some details. So for example, if you have a reported revenue of 10 and your actual revenue is collected as 8, there is an obvious gap there, and you might understand, well, what's missing and why. So that's a common question, and so hopefully the different interaction with the tools will help you out, and that you can go around and find what is missing and why. So for example, if we do a quick, I don't want to take too much time, but if we do a bit of a quick walkthrough here, there are some margin. Right, we have a gross profit and we have an ad spend. Well, to what extent are our ads contributing to our margin, or to what extent does our ad spend have its own return? Meta tends to give us some sort of number and tell us we need to be happy with that, depending on if you run ads on Meta or not, or Google or whatever you're doing. And so there's a number of reasons why this isn't the case. Of course, your tracking could be off. I have a link there if that's your situation, as in your website plumbing doesn't properly work. If that is not your situation, well, then we can go a bit deeper here to kind of understand what our real ROAS is. Some number, like we spent $100 and we want, 110 back, or 120, or whatever it's going to be, and then you get some sort of target multiple, right, based upon what you're putting in, your gap on what it's telling you, and then your CPA numbers. And then of course you can go along into the other parts of the tool, right, the tools, and you can say, hey, or maybe you want to start here. Hey, I'm looking at my revenue numbers, and I have some things here, and how can I understand these or play around with them? I mean, this is kind of rough here. It's losing money is a little bit discouraging. But if you play around, if our operating expenses are 3, and we're looking at 2,500 in ad spend, and we have a 5% return rate, our payment processing with Stripe, our monthly salary here is 6, whatever it's going to be. Maybe we make this a little bit less discouraging. Now, I mean, you want to be doing. I have had the devil making this number blue. Should be blue. Not white. So that bug still exists, but it is a free tool, so bear with me. So yeah, and you say, well, what are the things that contribute to my overall bottom line, and how can I think about them and improve those? Well, anytime you're looking at your revenue or contributing factors, here we have a cost of goods and a chargebacks and those types of things. Say, hey, what can I do with my business to increase my profitability? So hopefully as you come through here, you can look at your hidden cost, break-even revenue for whatever it is. Your margin there is a bit tight, and you say, hey, I have some bars here. Of course, I should have shown that in the ROAS numbers, there's also these interactive bars as well, which should help you think about the different things that contribute to the ROAS. And if you have a suggestion or something you would like to see that would make it better, please send me an email. I have my email address up there. I really would appreciate it, because I can't, as I'm thinking about things, I can't just, you know, every single situation doesn't always occur to me. So I really would appreciate some input. So yeah, as we come down here, now one of the dangerous things is saying how you compare overall. So I've included this section, but you want to be extremely careful in thinking about, well, my ROAS is this, but my neighbor, you know, his ROAS or her ROAS is a lot higher. Well, there's factors to that, like the particular clientele you may have, the particular offering, is your offering in any way differentiated from theirs, and how that would contribute to those marginal numbers that really matter. So you want to be, it's probably best to compare yourself to yourself as opposed to comparing yourself to someone else. Those types of attributive factors can be not as helpful as you would think, especially if they're in any way negative. Then you may, well, I want to let off the gas if I'm not, you know, if I'm somehow succeeding, or, you know, I feel discouraged, or those types of things. Those types of things that are not healthy. So anyways, of course, tracking is a major deal. If you have any sort of website or any of that and you're not properly tracking, well, you know, anyone with an iPhone you're invisible to, right? For example, if you don't have proper server-side integrations. And you can go along to my other website, trackingfixes.com, and you can address that particular issue. But I'm not talking about that right now. So, anyways, we can go back. I have a link here, but let's say we go back to our ROAS tool. We just click the numbers. And there are some things here. Refund rate was different. What is our ROAS going to look like if our margin was different? I can also include different types of like typical returns on different ad platforms, if you want to think about that, or where you want to be advertising, or those types of things, or perhaps that's its own tool. Now here, if we come in here and we have our numbers here, of course you can say, well, I'm attracting these customers and I have these numbers and I have a basic outline here. How can I go into my customer value? So you can do a quick estimate, or I know my numbers, those types of things, and you have a recurring value. Yeah, this always it's a drop down menu. So recurring value. Let's say it's $25 a month here, and you have your $29.99 you're selling it at. So every month, someone's maybe they pay, I don't know, $4.99. There we go, and they last around 8 months. And our margin is 50%, because that's easy for me to understand within a tool. But yours is going to be a little bit differently. And let's say it's $12 per the customer CPA number there. So we have our monthly ad spend. I'm just going to keep this in here. New customers a month, 35. All right, and you can put in advanced inputs, your churn rates, those types of things, 5%. Referral rates, how about 5%? And retention decay, how much does recurring purchase frequency drop every year? Well, I don't know, 5%. And then yeah. I don't want to read things out in case you have trouble following along, right? So it just shows your monthly P&L, and then what each customer lifetime value is, and then every additional customer, the marginal customer, how much they would bring in, right? So this one says you have your spend and you know what you keep, right? But there's some issues with this one. So each customer costs more to acquire than they'll ever return, which is a little bit discouraging, right? So you need to think about if my ad spend is high because I want new customers, and it appears initially that I'm making money on every additional marginal customer. But if you go in and you punch in your stuff and say, well, what am I actually returning for every additional customer? You would have to know your ROAS numbers, and you have to know your profit numbers, and then you have an LTV calculator. They are, it is a coherent system. You don't speak about doing ads or adding value to your firm, in and of itself, everything has to be attributive. So that is something there to be thinking about. Now, this situation, a little bit rough here, so you may have to consider raising prices. And if that you're not able to do that, then you have to reorganize how well, of course, you can either increase your price, increase your or increase your margin, which is decreasing your costs, or thinking about how you're doing your ads, because it could be that your ads are hyper inefficient, and they are the ones that are the problem here, not necessarily the structure in and of your revenue statement itself, right? So then you have total recurring revenue. These types of fun and very important numbers for each, like a lifetime profit for a person is $6 negative, which is not great. So we wanna be thinking about things, and then what this change is and how you can think about these. I've said that, I'm repeating myself, but so now if you have initial orders or like interactive menus here, interactive drop sidebars. It's difficult to talk and think about at the same time, but so now we have it, and it gives us new values, right? So that's what that would look like, and then you can loop back to your ad platform, and then think about, hey, I'm doing this, this, and this, and I'm doing this, this, and this, and here's where I am now. So then you take the information, and you can go ahead and apply it in your own structures, your business structures, and hopefully it's effective, and hopefully it's useful, and yeah, thank you. If you have some ideas, I would appreciate you just shove me an email there. I have it listed on the page, and yeah, thank you. Have a nice day.